Hey guys, what's up and welcome to the Redstone Handbook Episode 2, a series of videos designed to teach you the fundamentals of redstone so you can start to create your own redstone contraptions and understand how other people's designs work. In this video, we will be looking at more of the redstone components and how they work, and also Redstone Ticks. What are they? Firstly, let's briefly go over Redstone Ticks. There are 10 redstone ticks in a second, so if someone says 20 redstone ticks, that is 2 seconds. Just to clarify, these are different than game ticks, so be careful about this. This is useful when setting up delay in circuits. The repeater is a redstone component we saw back in episode 1. I said it had a delay function, so when you place a repeater, it already automatically has a redstone tick delay of 1 tick, so 1/10 of a second. When we right click it to change the mode, it will increase by 1 every time we click it to a maximum of 4 ticks, or 4/10 of a second. If we wanted to have 1 second of delay, we would put down 3 repeaters and set 2 to 4 ticks and 1 to 2 ticks. This is now 10 ticks and will take an extra second to light up this lamp. As you can see, this lamp will light up straight away and this one a second later. This is also the same when unpowering, as this light will turn off first and then a second later this one. Alright, let's get cracking on with today's first new component, the pistons. Pistons come in 2 types, one is regular and the other is the sticky piston. A regular piston will push blocks in front of it of a limit of 12 blocks when it is powered. So if I place another block in here, we already had 12, now this is 13, it will not move anywhere. Now this is a sticky piston and it will do the same thing when it is powered. However, when it is unpowered, the block that is attached to the front of it will be pulled back when the piston unpowers. Pistons have a few unusual qualities that will be shown more in depth in later episodes, but for now, we will leave it at this. Right, let's get on to the observer. The observer, well, it kinda observes things. An observer will send a 1 tick pulse when a block in front of it that it is observing updates or changes in any way. It has an arrow on top that points in the direction that it will send a redstone pulse. On the other side, away from the point of the arrow, is the block that it is observing. This little red dot is where the redstone pulse will come from, and this little face here is where the block that it is observing. I have placed the lamp on the redstone output side of the block, so you can see when the observer notices the change in the block over here. So, just by placing a block and removing a block, you get a pulse. It will also detect redstone updates like redstone dust turning on or off, or the signal strength getting bigger or smaller. Redstone observers can also be chained together like this, so they are all pointing this way, so this one here is going to update this one because this block is getting an update, so this is going to check it, and it's going to pulse it all the way along there doing the same thing. So if I place a block here, that lamp at the end is going to light up. In episode 1, you'll remember we went over a few ways to power redstone. These included levers, buttons, redstone torches, and redstone blocks. However, those are not the only ways to power redstone. Another way to power redstone is with pressure plates. Pressure plates come in 4 different types that each do something a little different. They are placed on the ground and can detect when a player or mob steps on it, or in some cases, items on top of it. First of all, the wooden pressure plate can detect when a player or mob stands on the pressure plate, and it will also detect when items are on top of it. This will give out the maximum strength redstone signal and will stay on until nothing is standing on the pressure plate or all the items have been removed from on top of it. The stone pressure plate can only detect players and mobs and will not give off a signal if items are dropped on top of it. Like we discussed in episode 1, some redstone components can give off different signal strength. Well, the light-weighted pressure plate does just this. It can give off different signals depending on the amount of mobs or items on top of it. As you can see, when I step on it, this first one lights up, but that is all. It does not get to the light, because there is not enough mobs standing on here. Only me. The final kind of pressure plate is the heavy-weighted pressure plate. This is much like the light-weighted pressure plate, but it requires a much larger amount of items to be activated to change the signal strength. The weighted pressure plates are very rarely used, but they do have a purpose. But don't worry if you don't fully understand them now, as you won't be needing them for a while. We will go over them in more detail in a later episode about signal strengths. Now we're on to the daylight sensor. This thing pretty much does what it says. It detects the daylight as long as it has a clear path to the sky. It will give off different redstone signals depending on the time of day in Minecraft. It also has a night mode which will do the same thing but in reverse. So the more moon, the higher the signal strength. As you can see, I turn it to night mode during the day, it will turn off. But right now, the sun's up, so we've got a nice signal going here. There are two other simple ways to activate redstone. One is the tripwire hook, which gives off a redstone signal if something is walking through the string that is in between these two tripwire hooks. It will power the block that they're on, either or, and then it will power the light like that. The other is a trapped chest, which will give off a signal strength of 1 when opened. As you can see, the light turns on when I open the chest. Now that we know how to power components, here are some more that we can activate. These are droppers and dispensers. Now on the surface, you might think that they do the exact same thing, and in some cases they do. But a dropper will always drop the item when it is powered. This is a dropper. Inside it we have arrows. It's going to drop an arrow so we can go and pick it up. This is a dispenser. It also has arrows, but when we press this button, it's going to fire it out. The dispenser has unique interactions like with the arrow with a few other certain items that include the water and the lava buckets. Droppers will just drop the water bucket like this so we can pick it up. And the dispenser right here will actually dispense the water like so. And if you want to pick it back up again, you just got to power it. So when we power it, if we look in here, there is an empty bucket, and when we power it, it will pick the water back up again. This is the same for lava buckets. Okay guys, on to one of the best and most useful components of redstone, the hopper. The hopper is a storage and transportation block. It has 5 inventory slots. If there is a free slot or a slot that isn't full of the same item that we put on top of the hopper, it will pick these items up. As you can see, this is empty. I can drop this on top, it will pick it up, and now it is inside. It can also pull items from containers above. A container includes any components that have an inventory. This includes other hoppers, the dropper, the dispenser, and the chest. The second function is that you can point the hopper into these containers. You can do this by shift clicking on the chest. As you can see, the little pipe from the bottom is now pointing into the chest. If I put items up here, it will transfer them into here and then we'll push them into here. If a hopper is powered, it will not pick up items from the top of it, and it will also not transfer items into a container. Hoppers set up on top of each other like this will always pull before they push. This means that a hopper placed under another hopper will always pull the items down before the hopper above pushes them into the chest. So in this setup, the bottom hopper will pull all the items down and put them into the bottom chest. This will continue until the hopper below has no available slots or until the bottom hopper is powered. Then it will push into the top chest. This can be very useful for storage systems. Just so we have a little bit of excitement today, guys, I have made a little thing here so you can see a few of the components working together. We have a hidden chest system here that automatically puts all your items into the chest. So if we click this, we're going to get some food out of this awesome dropper here, which is just great. And these are going to pull back the pistons. There are pistons down there. Sticky pistons. We'll pull these out of the way and reveal our chests. Now, we can't open that one, so let's take that block out. And if we chuck our items up in here, some awesome polished diorite, it's going to flow into this chest down here. And now we can just flick this lever and shut it back up again. And these items will keep going into our storage system. And now it's hidden. No one can get to it. Unless, of course, they just remove these blocks. There are many other objects that can interact with redstone. These include doors, fence gates, note blocks, TNT, oh yes, TNT, and don't forget trapdoors and boats. Alright guys, so this looks strangely like the like button. I think you guys should maybe hit that. Let's just see what happens if we press this button. I'm not really sure. Oh dear. Oh dear. That's where you guys gotta do the like button. So guys, have fun experimenting with all your new redstone toys. In the next episode, we will have an in-depth look at the comparator and how signal strength works. I thought the comparator needed its own video, as it is quite complicated. So I will see you guys then. Thank you for watching.